Hey guys, welcome to the Coffee and Coaching Podcast. I am Coach Kamara.
I'm Coach Jack G. We hope you enjoy today's episode. We hope you take a lot of value away from it, and we might even make you laugh a little bit.
We started this podcast to help empower and inspire you to take control and create the life that you want to lead.
But remember, everything we say is our opinion. We're not medical professionals. So if we talk about anything that you want to implement into your life, please go and speak to your doctor first.
If you enjoy the episode and you enjoy the podcast, please subscribe, share it with anyone that you think might take value from it. And if you can share it on your social media, it would be massively, massively appreciated.
That's enough of that. Let's get into today's episode.
Coconut latte is normal.
Coconut latte, yeah. And a cake. And I think we should start today slightly differently. A little bit of a cake review, because I've got calories. I'm going to train after this today, so I've got extra calories. I was like, get me a cake. Because we've slagged them off about their coffee, so we may as well slag them off about their cakes as well.
Come on, get it out there.
We didn't slag them off about their coffee. It was just the fact that
The coffee machine wasn't working.
the coffee machine in the coffee shop.
No.
No, just that
Not
time
again.
that I'm traumatized about. Yeah,
We'll never forget.
never let it go.
Do you know this is my second latte of the day? There's a new coffee. Yeah, wait, Jack's doing his cake review right there. Zoom in on his face if you can.
Oh. No, that bangs. That's all right.
Does it bang?
Yeah.
What's the cherry like? You didn't eat the cherry?
I'm not a big cherry fan, you know. I always just throw it when I get a cherry bakewell.
Oh,
Fresh that.
fresh.
Not a Mr. Kipling's, yeah, that's nice that.
You need to eat like right next to the mic and do. What's that weird thing? This like mukbang. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, mukbang ASMR.
Right. Well, yeah. So what I was saying, second latte of the day.
Yeah.
It's a new coffee van. On Sefton Park, I think I told you about it, called West Coast Coffee. Did I tell you?
Is that the one you got all the coffee from? The coffee beans? You said
Well,
you ordered them.
I was introduced to their supplier through them.
Coffee connections.
Coffee connections, but I got a lot. I've never got a latte from there before. I always get espressos. And a latte, it was one of the nicest lattes I think I've ever had.
Nice.
It's heavy.
Nice.
So if you're ever on Sefton Park, Wednesdays to Sundays, they're usually there.
I've started working on my latte art.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm shit at it.
I'm really shit at it. Whenever I try and do it, it's too foamy at the end, so it just ends up just going and just sort of settling on top.
Yeah.
So I think I get carried away with putting too much foam into it. I need to just settle down a little bit.
The
texture's good throughout, apart from the very end.
I can get the good texture. I just can't do that. I've started being able to get the white to sit on top. That's what I couldn't get.
Yeah.
To be able to start making shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just having the ability to actually make it look like something.
Yeah.
I watched the guy doing it the other day and tried, and it still just come up with like 3 blobs, and then it all just like merged together.
Mine's just a big blob at the end. We'll get there one day.
What are we talking about today?
Before we go on to today's episode, coffee. I feel like my coffee awareness is raising.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm now at a point where
I gave you that single wall back, didn't I? You've been using it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's boss. And because it's obviously not a single cup, it's a double cup, it's more coffee, so I'm enjoying the extra caffeine. I fucking need it at the minute. I've employed L-tyrosine lion's mane and phosphatidylserine, however the fuck you say it, today for today's episode because my brain's so fucked. And this is now third coffee of the day.
Big brain energy just to be able to speak for like an hour.
Major nootropics. But the coffees that I've been making, they're really like acquired taste, so they're really weird. This Django coffee, they're like proper, like West Coast Coffee will have them as a speciality coffee because it's very,
because it's not like
it's strange, like it's really weird. So some of them are a little bit hit and miss. So the ones I've been trying, I've been like slowly refining the grind and refining the setup and all that, so it gets perfect. And now I know when there's a balanced cup, but also when that coffee is really weird, even if you get a perfect shot, and it's perfect for that coffee, I don't necessarily like it that much, and I would like it a little bit if it was more over extracted or under extracted a little bit. So I purposefully ruin the coffee to make it taste better for me. So I noticed that the other day and I was like, that's cool.
Nice.
cool.
I remember we talked about tamping last time.
Yeah, did you get that tamp?
I didn't get that tamp, but I have been tamping way too hard. Yeah. So like, I was watching a guy and he was like, to figure out if you're tamping hard enough, just get a bathroom scale and put the tamp on it and tamp down as hard as you tamp, and it'll
And
show
it's
you.
15, 20 kilos is it meant to be, isn't it?
It's like £30. So
Yeah.
20.
So about 15 kilos.
About 15 kilos. Fucking soft cunt over here is putting about fucking 40 kilos of fucking tamp on it, like wondering why it's not extracting, and it's like on like grind setting 9. So I could get all the way down to like a 5 or like a 4 or a 5, well, like a 5 or a 6, and it's still like doing nice extraction because I'm just not
tamping it so hard.
turning it into like a solid brick of coffee that you could build a house with.
Do you know I need to do that? Because I'm probably doing exactly the same.
Yeah, you definitely are.
This is what we said at the start. We're probably tamping too hard because like we forget that we're stronger than
built like
we're stronger than the average human, but we don't know that. So we're just probably applying what we think, but it's probably a lot more.
Like warped sense of what 30 pounds of pressure is.
That's funny. That I'm gonna do. That's a good idea. Put it on a bathroom scale.
I've also
happened the other day. I've got some ground coffee in the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Ben was in one day without me. Tell him what happened. I don't know about coffee that much.
He didn't put it.
I'm
Please.
just used to instant coffee.
Oh no! Did he put it?
I just fancied a little black coffee, so a little spoon, boom, throw it in, tell him yesterday, and I got the most disgusting look of all. Now I feel bad.
So for
straight
anyone,
up
I don't know,
Turkish coffee.
will the mic have picked that up?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I love it.
That's amazing.
My confession is along the same lines as that.
Oh my God.
So I done Snowden the other day, didn't I?
Oh yeah, that was it.
Good. My dad's absolutely wrecked. Like it wrecks me on the, obviously like I was tired on the way down and stuff because we done it in like 5 hours and we done the horrible route up and a not so bad route down.
Yeah.
And the weather was minging at the top, like 40-mile-an-hour winds,
Fucking
like
hell.
sideways hail. It was horrible on the top, like a couple of 100 meters.
Yeah, I seen the selfie you put up. It was just white.
White, it was gross. Yeah. Like getting blown over and stuff on the top. Like I thought it was like a bit like
A bit much.
you get blown off the top of the thing easy. Yeah. But we're doing Ben Nevis next week.
Sick.
Doing Ben Nevis on Friday. I've never done Ben Nevis. And it's just me, my dad, my brother. Proper little family trip up. It was sick. But on the way, we went through Betty Cowards, which is like a little, I don't know whether you know it in Wales.
No.
It's like, it's near Snowdon. Everyone, it's a dead nice town. But there's loads of outdoor shops there. And I was like, right, I'm going to get a jet boil. And a jet boil is something I used in the army. It's just a gas cooker, basically.
Yeah.
You just screw gas onto it, light it, and it's like a little fucking thing,
Yeah.
boils water. But it all like fits inside itself and it boils water dead quick, so you can brew up dead quick. I was like, I'm just going to get one because then I can brew up in Ben Nevis. But I didn't bring any coffee with me. I didn't bring the AeroPress, I didn't bring any coffee beans. And I was like, really want a coffee today though. So I had to buy a tin of Kenko.
Oh no!
Like, not even like good Kenko. Like,
just like the shit
like
one.
the glass bottle with the red lid Kenko, like the generic Kenko, and used that when I got up there, and like it's just trash.
No, I had to have
People
one.
just live like that.
I know. People
They
just
have real
that's it.
problems, but there's people listen to this podcast who just make a coffee like that every morning.
It's disgusting. Like I had to do the same when I've got terrible Wi-Fi in mine.
Seen that? Yeah.
What?
When you went to your mum's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seen
Oh
that.
yeah. I have to go to my mum's to do check-ins to use their Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
and she just obviously since I've moved out is not
Just doesn't care about
coffee.
coffee
She doesn't
anymore.
give a fuck. So it's I don't even do egg bits.
Oh yeah. I
You
know
want
what,
to?
yeah.
Mate, it's shite.
Bad.
Oh lad, it's so bad. It tastes like I'm like drinking crayons.
I know it's just got a weird taste, hasn't it?
It's not even coffee.
It's just like, it can't be coffee, can it? Because it can't be the bean, because it's like,
Well, it is, but they like dry freeze it or something,
yeah,
don't they? So
but
it
then
just
it
takes
just
all the
dissolves
flavour out.
into
So,
the
it's
dissolves into
horrible.
the water and doesn't leave any residue, so it's
disgusting.
weird.
It's fucking vile. Anyway,
So yeah, but now Ben Nevis on Friday, it's going to be gross. You know, I'm driving down there. It's 6.5 hours drive from ours to Ben Nevis.
yeah.
Or Fort William anyway, whereas it's just at the bottom. My dad and brother are staying down there for the week, but obviously I can't. I haven't got the time to. So I'm finishing everything I need to on Thursday, driving down Thursday night, doing Ben Nevis in the morning, which is like 6 hours up and down, and then driving straight back.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
on
going to be
Friday
stiff
night.
as
I know,
fuck on
It's
Friday.
going to be grim on Friday. Like when we drove back from Snowdon, I was in the back of the car. My dad drove, so I just got to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like I was just like not asleep, but like I was
Just
just
get to-
those. Yeah, wrote an Instagram post and it's done shit because I was half asleep when I typed it. Oh no, it actually done really well.
Did it?
Yeah, it was one of the best posts I put up this week. It done
So
really
that's
well.
always the way, innit?
Half asleep, just we're going to talk about that today.
Whenever you just get it done.
Yeah, more so about like choosing. So part of what we're talking about today is
Well, what are we talking about today?
we're talking about like the challenges we face and sort of how we face as coaches and as
Yeah.
business
One of my
owners.
brand new clients, I put a poll up the other day on my Instagram, said what do you want us to speak about
No, I've put
on
that too far away.
this week's episode. And he said challenges you face as an
Yeah.
online coach, because he's the owner of a startup, and he's
Yeah.
doing significantly well. So I think he wants to understand it from like a business and productivity standpoint. So that's where this idea came
Nice.
from.
What's he do? What's his business?
NFT dude.
Sick. Nice. Love it. See that thing I sent you last night?
I did. What was
First house
Oh, yeah?
in America being sold as an NFT.
it? How did that work? How
So they've had
do
to...
they actually own the house, or is it a house in the metaverse?
No, it's an actual like legit like real world house.
So they just have the NFT to say
I
they
don't-
own the
yeah,
house.
I don't know what the NFT... Like there might be like... I don't know what
Maybe
they're
owning the-
buying the NFT
Yeah.
and the NFT is the house. Like
Yeah.
in the contract of the NFT is the house.
Yeah. So whoever owns that NFT has access to
That's
the
the
house.
house, yeah.
Sick.
But they had to set the house up as like a limited company or something. They had to buy the house and set it up as like a limited company so that they could create an NFT with it.
Mad.
It was mad. But yeah.
Mad.
So Gary Vee was right. Not asked if you don't like him. NFTs are taking off.
He's not even listening. He's reading.
What were we saying about that then?
Yeah, so-
oh yeah, he's doing NFTs. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah. So productivity and challenges we face as coaches. We'll hopefully be able to not just like be interesting for you to listen to, but also be able to. We're gonna speak about productivity and challenges we face with actually getting shit done on a day-to-day basis. And then you can, even if you're not self-employed, even if a lot of people are working from home at the minute, if you're struggling with productivity,
Yeah.
it's going to be a valuable episode for you. So I'm excited.
It could even be stuff that if you do work for someone else, that you take it to your like boss or line manager or whatever and be like, if we made these changes in our work during the day, we'd be more productive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of workplaces want to do that, but
Yeah.
don't do stuff about it. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Like some of the little stuff like
Yeah.
that we're going to talk about today.
Well, I don't know what we're going to talk about today because Jack's made all the notes because my life is still chaos.
Yeah, I actually made notes.
I've just turned up and this is what we're talking about. So here we are.
I've had 3 calls. Well, I've had 2. I didn't make the first one. I've had 3 calls with the coaching concierge team this
Yeah.
week. So I am like fired up, mate. Like 3 hours of my week is spent sat on them calls in a room with people who are just absolutely smashing it. And there's just no way you can come off that call and not be ready to just like murder the day.
So
Just being ruthless. Like I was absolutely ruthless.
I've
all day
noticed
yesterday.
this in your content the last couple of weeks. I know you said, was it last episode maybe? You said you feel like I've turned into more of a savage. I can see it in you as well.
Yeah.
I see in one of your check-ins is so and so kick up the arse.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of your posters about happiness. It was the Snowden one actually, or was about something. Was it happiness?
Happiness. Yeah. You know,
Was that the one you said
happiness
was
doing
shit?
fuck all,
Yeah.
basically. No, that one done really well. That was the one.
That was the one that you did. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you turned into a bit of a savage because it's just like you're just saying it how it is,
Yeah. It
rather
was
than
just
trying
like,
to pussyfoot around. Just
yeah.
being like,
Do you know, it kind of sparked from, I had a call with one of my clients and I knew I'm like this. I said this to you the other day. Like, I know I'm too nice sometimes. And it shoots me in the foot sometimes. And I've got a client who doesn't want me to be like that. And tells me not to be like that more. And it's good. Like I was talking to her the other day and it's a client I wouldn't normally expect to want me to be like that with them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, she said something on the corner. I was like, don't worry about it. And she went, stop telling me, don't worry about it. Tell me off. Like, get a grip of me. And I was like, okay, sound. Get your fucking shit together. This is what we need to do next week. And she was like, yeah, that's what I need. I was like, sound, okay. But yeah, it was since that I was just like, I went in on a couple of people this week, to be fair.
Yeah.
that just had it coming. Just
Sometimes you got to.
stuff. Yeah, not even
It's like-
being a
it's
dick
like-
about it.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
like, you know, the voice
Well-
note you sent me. It was that turning point with someone,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
I don't know what to say. Like anyone who listened to last episode, if you haven't listened to last episode, go and listen to it, because it was when we explained the time when I ripped Jack apart
yeah, basically.
when we were getting him photo shoot ready. It was a pivotal point, and
Yeah.
now you seem to be in the same situation.
Yeah, basically. I mean, to be fair, I come off the first coaching concierge call, and there's at least 2 people in that group earning over £15,000 a month, and I was just like, sound okay. I need to step my game up.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what does your day look like? Like, what, when you wake up in the morning, what's the game plan? Like, how are you attacking the day? Like, what are you doing that I'm not?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it's good. It's good. Like, it's good feeling like the smallest fish in the room.
Yeah.
Like, I like it.
There's that saying, isn't it? Never be the cleverest person.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
room.
yeah. Yeah.
It applies to anything, isn't it?
Applies to absolutely anything, doesn't it? And like, like I said to you yesterday, I'm not 100% sure how it's going to go, but like that side of things is really fucking good, because even stuff with Jack, like I had a conversation with Jack about what he's doing with his VA and stuff yesterday, just on that call.
Yeah.
And he's fucking ruthless, you know. I love it. Like, he's hired this VA and he's got them, you know, he loves a spreadsheet, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking loves a spreadsheet more than you.
Yeah.
He's got this spreadsheet for like exactly who they've sent a DM to every day, whether they responded, whether they sent them the lead magnet, what the last message it was left on was, whether they've booked a call in with them, and then like tallies of like how many DMs they've sent today and how many lead magnets they've sent today and stuff. It's a really good spreadsheet. It's just so Jack. And he was like, he's talking about it and he's just dead clinical about it, and he like, you know the way he is, and he's just like straight to the point, and he was like, see, like last week I've told them we had an agreement that you send 40 DMs a day. If you don't mind me telling you this, Jack, if you do, I'll take it out. I didn't really think about that. Sure you won't.
Well, you haven't said the second name, so
Yeah.
could be any Jack.
Could be any Jack. I hope he doesn't mind. I do that a lot. Put my foot in it a lot.
I know you do.
Um,
We've had actually a couple of episodes where we've
yeah,
had to,
and it's always me.
we've had to edit stuff out because Jack's
Always
chatting
me.
shit about people.
I like to share, and if you tell me stuff, you need to understand that I like to share. So don't tell me anything. So basically, he was just like, he was telling us in the group, and he was just like, they were underperforming. So we just got on the phone with them straight away and was like, this is what you said you were going to do. You're not doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, heavy, sick. Like,
Sick cunt.
like the type of person who just doesn't, like, he won't leave it another week. It's
Yeah.
like there's been like 4 days of underperforming.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, I've done it, and now look. And then the last like 6 days after it, he was like,
Yeah.
they've done it every single day. And I was
Sick.
like, sick.
Sick.
So yeah, I spoke a lot about that with him yesterday. But he's an animal, like.
Yeah.
Him and that lad he's living with,
Don't say his name, because then
His
everyone will
name's-
know what Jack it is.
I don't know what his name is. I just know his Instagram.
Well, yeah, but don't say
So I
it,
won't
then,
say it. But yeah, the two of them live together. Mark calls him boyfriend. Calls them the couple. He's when he got on the phone, he's like, "Are you not going to sit together? He's in different rooms." But I bet that's like remember we were saying about getting like
Yeah.
all
Just
working
a
together?
boss
Like,
environment.
the environment, yeah.
Well, I think it's this ties into productivity and stuff like that, isn't it? Like, my level of efficiency in my day has had to increase dramatically just to meet the same level of performance, because there's so much more that's been introduced into my life.
Yeah.
Like, they're both single, don't have dogs. We're both in relationships and we do
And
have
we've got
dogs.
dogs,
So
yeah.
we've got like an extra 4 or 5 hours of
Yeah.
stuff that needs to get done
Oh, see that
in that day. So
that yesterday, like one of the things he says, it wasn't him, it was his mate said. He was like, I just don't waste time.
yeah.
Like, and that's something we're going to talk about today. Is like, I don't waste time. And then this morning, I was cleaning his dog bowl out, and I was like, I'm wasting time here. And then I had to have a little chat with myself and be like, well, you know, this needs doing.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to feed him, so you've got to clean his dog bowl out. So, but like, and again, something else we're going to talk about today is like the comparison thing. Is I'm comparing myself to him.
Yeah.
I was like, he's fucking living in Dubai and he's single and he's fucking.
Yeah.
He
His
is
whole day
responsibility.
is business.
Yeah.
That's it.
Whereas I've got some let's just call it what it is. Some little cunt next to me, fucking just hounding me because he's hungry. So yeah, I've got to feed him. Haven't I?
I've got some little cunt flying around. Have you seen the scratch on my eyes? Can you see that?
No, not really. Oh, is that where it's all?
It's gone down a bit. But literally, lad,
just like swiping at you.
like my hands are covered in cuts, bites. He likes to hit people in the face with his paw. He punched my mum in the face the other day. I'm talking about my dog, by the way. He punched my mum in the face the other day,
Mad.
and she just pure got knocked out on the couch. She's just like that.
He's all leg, isn't he? Very
Yeah.
easy. How much
Yeah,
big is he
because
now?
you don't expect it because he's just there, and the next minute his foot's just in your mouth. He actually punched me in the mouth. It
Like
went inside my mouth, and then he clawed the inside of my mouth back. And I was just like, oh. So I've got a little cunt doing that, trying to eat everything. Oh, it's just a nightmare. So it's just like, yeah, we'll speak about all the struggles, but like everyone's gonna have their own stuff that's gonna pull them away from the stuff that they actually want to do. And I think that's there's one, like, I've got no notes, but one of the things that I wanted to speak about that I was thinking about on the way here is like, you've got to understand your values. So something that we always come back to this.
Yeah.
It's always awareness. It's always understanding your values, what's important to you. So like, your dog's important to you. My dog's hugely important to me. Yeah. It's massively important that I am fully on him now, so that when he's 6 months old or a year old and he's a full adult at 3 or 4, he's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's hugely valuable to me. That's something that's actually in my vision plan. Like I want a perfect dog at some point. And so cleaning his food bowl out might feel like, oh, fucking hell. Like I could be working, I could be getting check-ins done, I could be progressing the business.
Yeah.
Which is like the thing that's like, oh, I really want that, but also at the same time, like you've got to do the other shit and understand how valuable that is. All the stuff that might feel like it's pulling you away from the main thing that you want to do. Being able to find the value in that, like you did with the food bowl, you got to be fed.
Yeah, it's got to be done. Like, trust me, he'll let me know. He'll let me know if it's not done.
But anyway, let's move to your notes, so we're not flying all over the place.
Well, the first thing I wrote down was about building that routine to be, like how even when something does happen, that like I go through and build the routine and what, like, how I do that for anyone I'm working with.
Yeah, it's hugely important to have a routine. Like if you're trying to become more productive or you're trying to get more shit done, you need a routine. And we spoke about this in the Atomic Habits episode, didn't we? It's just like routine and habitual stuff is not, it's not something that is like locking you down and is holding you back and is like too restrictive, and it's allowing you to just get into a nice autonomous flow with all the stuff, all the small seemingly insignificant stuff, to just get it done every day without thinking about it. And when you can get into that level of routine with everything, the productivity goes through the roof because it becomes so normal and natural. You're not wasting time thinking about it, wasting time again. You're not wasting time thinking about stuff. So having that routine is so important.
And part of that, I remember we talking about active procrastination. I listened to that guy's TED talk, and it was a proper light bulb moment for me. And that features into the like the building a routine of like, can you make something automated? Can you automate it? Can you delegate it? Can you pay someone else to do it?
Yeah.
And if not, then like, does it need doing now?
Yeah.
Or can you fuck it off and ignore it?
Yeah.
And that is huge for me, because I would have like a to-do list and I'd be like overwhelmed by like 15 things on a to-do list, and I'd be like, oh my God, these all need doing. And now at the start of the month, I'll do that. I'll list like, okay, for February, this is what's on. Like I've got the 5-day course coming up next week. I've got like the Fat Loss Foundations and like other stuff going on. It's like, okay, well, all of this stuff needs done, and that's a fucking shitload, but what do I need to actually do now?
Yeah.
Well, the 5-day thing is until next week, so that can fuck off.
Yeah.
The Fat Loss Foundations, that was last week, that can fuck off. Like,
yeah, well, I've got something similar. I use an app called Todoist, and you can,
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah,
you can create like a board where you'll set different sort of things. You can like swipe across. So I've got group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. So group 1 is stuff that needs to get done like today. Needs to be done today. So 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 things have to get done today. If I get through them, then I go on to group 2. And slowly, as I start to tick off all the tasks. Group 5 is stuff that's going to happen in 10 years, stuff like that, or courses that I'm going to do in 6 months from now.
Yeah.
So it's longer term stuff. So I think that is hugely important. Like, some people don't like to do lists though.
No, it's something like what I done. It feels overwhelming.
Yeah.
But there needs to be some kind of structure. Like, just wildly going into your day is just a recipe for disaster in everything.
Yeah.
Food, training,
Yeah.
productivity. Like, if you just turn up to the gym. Like, how many people have you had conversations with before they start working with you? And it's like, oh, I've been going to the gym for ages. It's like, okay, well, what do you do? It's like, I'll just go and I'll just do like chest and tries, or I'll just go and see what I feel like.
You know, my favourite thing is I do every machine. Have you ever had someone
Yeah,
who says that?
yeah.
Just go in and do every machine.
More so,
What do you mean?
fucking
Just go in for 7 hours.
prophecy workout, that.
Yeah.
7 hour bodybuilding workout, just use everything. We're doing pull today, so just any machine that I can pull, we're just going to
All 5 lat pull down machines. Jordan,
They're all pulling the exact same direction with the same resistance
knocks
profile.
me sick when I see someone who is like big and is strong and it sort of looks like they know what they're doing, and then they use one shoulder press machine, finish and go into the next one. What the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that?
T-bar row and then like seated row. Like, what, mate?
I mean, that's slightly
I was
nuanced.
trying to think of the rows
But
in
like-
prophecy that are the same, but yeah, like going from shoulder press to shoulder press is
It's just like, what are you doing?
yeah.
Like, what? Oh, it's
It's
mad.
like bench press the barbell to like Smith press.
Yeah, on the same angle.
Yeah,
Like, why
on
would
the
you do
same
that?
angle,
Just
yeah.
stay on one. Like, it's I don't know.
Off topic, I've started training my brother.
I know.
Sick, mate. Love it. You
Is
know?
he doing well?
Oh yeah, he's so good. Like, we've not got machines or anything in ours, so it's like all barbell work. Basically, we started with dumbbells, and I loved that. I think it was either Cal, or someone from the Muscle Mentors when they were all the Muscle Mentors before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ross is
for Ross
pro coach now.
Yeah, before pro coach happened.
Do you
And
know
he
what he
was
said?
like-
Sorry, can I just interrupt you? I'm getting coached by Ross, who was previously part of the Muscle Mentors. They've now split, and now him and Callum, and the other, I don't know the
Can't
other
remember
two.
the other
Ryan
guy's
and I don't know his other name.
Yeah,
Ryan and Alex are now pro coach. And Ross was just like in the message, he was like, "Well, this is what pro coach is. We work with bodybuilders. We're going to turn people pro. Bum 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 bum." And then it's just at the end, if you have no aspirations to be a bodybuilder, we'll still look after you. It's just like, thanks, thanks. Anyway, go on.
yeah. So like we started with dumbbells, and like that when he was saying like starting someone, he's never been to the gym before, he's never done any real exercise before, to be fair, at all. It's like firing a cannon from a canoe.
Yeah.
So with like the dumbbell stuff, it was just like we're not there. We're not even there a little bit. So the bar works a bit better. The bar's not ideal,
Yeah.
but it's the best of what we've got.
Yeah.
Benching fucking 35, nearly 40 kilos, mate.
Nice.
3 weeks in.
Nice.
Yeah, banging like 8 to 15 rep sets out.
Them Grinley genetics, man.
Mate, yeah, he's going to be a tank. His arms look big already. First day, I was like, right, sound. Let's just see how many pull-ups you can do. About 5 in one go. I was like, and they were good pull-ups.
That's all right.
No coaching from him. No coaching for him. I said, just grab them handles there, pull yourself up as many times as you can.
Yeah.
Just done 5 perfect pull-ups. Like sound.
Sound, man.
He works in like a warehouse loading kegs
So he's
onto lorries
been
all day.
on
So
like-
he's been picking like 20 kilo kegs up all the time. So his back's quite strong. His legs need work. Fuck him up on his legs all the time. Yeah, but off topic again. It was just a nice little interview.
So-
I like it's good seeing him
Yeah.
grow.
Let's go to routine. How do you actually build a routine? And we'll come to do lists and productivity. What do you do when you're helping a client build a routine, or like you get a new dog? I remember
Yeah.
you did this when you got Biscuit. I remember coming round because I was training your garage at the time, and you were like, "Oh, lad, my head's fucked." And I remember coming in one time and you were writing down your new routine. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
So I kind of do this with clients when they first start, and at any point something changes really. And we spoke about this before, like the habit scorecard. And the more detailed you can be about knowing what you do now, Like, what does your day look like? There'll be things that you already do the same every day. You brush your teeth, you get up, you go to bed at the same time, you drive to work at the same time. All of that stuff that's kind of set in stone, I put all of that down, and I can see where. And then if a client does that, it'll be like, oh, scroll on my phone before I have breakfast. And it's like, right, okay. And then all of the habits they score that are bad, not necessarily bad, but just habits that aren't moving them towards their goal, that are pulling them away from their goal, is how I say it. And I do the same for me. Anything there, or that little window where there's a gap where you'll watch TV, or where you'll procrastinate after the gym for half an hour while you make your food, like all that I can highlight, and that's where I can make the changes, because the stuff that's set in stone, like client check-ins, their calls are at certain times of the day.
Yeah.
One-to-one sessions are at certain times of the day, like taking the dog out in the morning, that morning routine of like, I don't start work until like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I started getting up earlier as well. I needed the extra hour.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Disgusting.
It's not gross, it's just the first couple of days were gross, because it was like an extra hour, and I was like, oh.
Well, I've gone from waking up before we got the dog, because I was working quite late, so I'd be getting up at like 8:30, 9.
Yeah.
And then now, I went from having like 8-9 hours sleep every night to getting no sleep for like 2 weeks, and now I'm getting up at 7, so I'm sort of like
clawing it back.
Yeah.
So I'll go through, you see me doing it, didn't you? I was like, all the things in my day, and I'm quite visual, so I need to see it like on paper or on like, I use Outlook Calendar, which is quite visual, because you can put different
Well, I
colours
used to
in
use
and
that.
stuff.
I use Google Calendar.
Yeah, and I think that does the same, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like blocks stuff off, and I'll block each day. Like when I wake up, when I go to bed, right, that's the block I've got to be alive.
Yeah.
And do stuff. Right, I'm training 2 hours in. That's there 4 days a week. Walking a dog, that takes that time. And then in the end, once all of the daily musts are in, you see your gaps then, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, that's where I'm productive. All this stuff has to happen.
Yeah.
Can I save time on that? So like cooking food, is it Mark Rhodes? So who that is, put a thing up the other day, and it was talking about like creating multiple outcomes from single actions.
Yeah.
And I speak about this. I just never worded it so eloquently. He's good at words. But doing that, when you look at this, like, so okay, so you'd have tea and it's an hour block. Well, can you use that hour to make 3 teas or something like that? Do you know what I mean? Like,
so whenever I thought we've said this on the podcast before, but when I cook, I'll cook like 3 or 4 days worth of food.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the meals are just like bagels and
Yeah.
shit like that. So I'll cook like three days worth of meals, so I don't have to cook. I cook once every 3 or 4 days, and that's just efficiency.
That's it. You saved yourself.
But yeah, we'll come to stuff like that like in a minute. But when building a routine, I agree with you. Everything that you've just said there is just like, what's the shit that needs to happen?
Yeah.
Block that in your day. The time that is free, I think, is good. You can get ahead in your to-do list and whatnot, but also a hugely valuable thing, which I think can't be overlooked, is downtime. So if you've got 2 hours spare in the day, use it to relax. Use it to get a bath. Use it to go for a walk. Use it to read a book.
Yeah.
If that's not already part of your routine, use it to do something that's actually going to allow you to switch off a little bit, because if the moment you wake up is like structured to the exact minute throughout the whole day, and then you get to the end of the day and then it's just like, right, I'm done, sleep. Yeah. It's just a bit like, fucking hell.
It's monotonous, isn't it?
I've been there many times. I've been there for months and months and months on end, and you get to the point where you're just burnt out.
Sometimes that just needs to be done, doesn't it? Like the call yesterday, he was saying, like, one of the lads was like, I'm going, like, my eyes are like sore going to bed because I'm just speaking, like I'm just on my phone speaking to people flat out. And he's like, that needs to, like, it needs to be, but then you can look back and be like, that was worth it, because this is where I am.
There's a time and a place for it.
But that's massive. I think that was one of the things I put down about the struggles.
Yeah.
For me, last year, I don't think I took any time off in like 18 months. Yeah. And got to Christmas, and I remember I said to you, I was just like, I'm done.
You were just fucked.
I've got nothing left. Like,
I've got nothing left.
I've got nothing left. I just didn't give a fuck. And I hated it. I said to Mark on a call, I was like, I fucking love this job. I love what I do. It's not a job. Like, I love being a coach. I love running this business. But right now I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate all of my clients. I hate all of social media. I hate that people ask me questions. I hate that I have to go in the office in the morning. Like, I hate it. And what I hate even more is the fact that I hate it when I know I actually love it. So for like 2 weeks at Christmas, I just did absolutely nothing to do with anything to do with coaching or fitness. I didn't even train. I was like, I'm not even going to the gym. Not because I needed a break from like training. It was like I didn't want to see the gym. I wanted to just disconnect from it for a bit.
Just completely.
And then me and Rachel both agreed that like now we're scheduling in downtime because I don't do that.
Yeah.
And if I don't do it,
It won't happen.
it won't happen. Yeah.
We're always in a place where we want to be productive, we want to be moving forward, and it's hard. We've spoken about this many times. Well, it's hard to switch off. If you understand the value in switching off, it becomes much easier to put it in. But I think you have to go through those periods where you don't switch off and you work like a fucking motherfucker for months on end, and you hit that point where you've got nothing.
Well, that's it. Like, if
you have to go through that in order to understand why you need to rest and why you need to relax.
If I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't see the value in like booking 2 weeks off every month like that, or booking. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take like a week off every like 3 months, or like 2 weeks off every 3 months.
Yeah.
Last year I was like, can't do that. Got too much on. Gotta do this. Gotta do that.
I haven't got time for that.
Then get to Christmas and feel like done and be like, oh, okay, that's why I should have done that. Yeah. Now it makes sense.
Yeah. It's like the same shit in anything. So we like I often see a lot of similarities between transforming someone's physique and business. If you are constantly just on the go all the time and not giving yourself an opportunity to switch off, you're going to hit a point where you're burnt out. Your desire to continue pushing just diminishes, and you'll just be fucked. And the same thing with someone's physique. If you're hammering them with just too much training volume, the calories are way too low, smashing them with loads of cardio, they're going to get burnt out extremely quickly. The ability to actually lose fat will be diminished very quickly, and they'll just be in a place where there's nowhere to go. You have to back off. You have to take that opportunity to rest. And there's a time and a place to push hard, but you need to, in my opinion, and in your opinion as well, especially with dieting, but like, you need to set yourself up in a sustainable way.
Yeah.
But like, there needs to be, I said this, I think I've hacked life sort of a little bit, in the way that every single day I have like a 2-hour break. I have 2 hours where it's just me.
Yeah.
Well, I used to. I don't have that anymore.
Now it's you and the dog. Now it's the dog's 2 hours to do whatever he wants. Yeah, because I do that too, but exactly the same.
You have that break every day, so you don't need that week at the end of 3 months.
Yeah.
Because you're getting that small, it's like micro dosing of break every single day.
Nah, I mean, I'll still need it. Like,
well, yeah, I'm just saying.
No, but yet it lessens.
It's important to put it in. You don't get to the end and you crash and you're like, fuck, I need 2 weeks off. You just sort of like, it would be nice to have a week off.
It'd be nice to have a week off every couple of months, yeah. As more of just a let's actually enjoy life kind of thing. But yeah, I agree with you. Like,
so routine, what the fuck actually needs to get done? Pencil it in your day, like almost be like just clinical, like you were saying before about this is going to take this much time, put it all in. Any free gaps, pencil in stuff that's going to allow you to switch off. If you feel like you want to do that. If you want to work like a cunt, then just don't.
Time blocking is
I was about to ask you about your rule. Is that what you're about to say? Your rule of if you've blocked a bit of time off and you don't finish the task?
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's called something, I can't remember his name. There's a law, like Murphy's law, but it's not Murphy. That a task will fill the time that you give it.
Yeah.
So if you give yourself 6 hours to do something, it will take 6 hours. If you give yourself an hour to do something, it will take an hour. And if you don't give yourself a time limit, it will just take however long you give yourself, like, allow for it to take. So time blocking for me is just like, if I sit down and go, okay, I've got 100 check-ins to get through, do them in 90 minutes. I'll go at them like a fucking demon for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe not get through 100 check-ins in 90 minutes because, like,
who the fuck could ever do that?
Who the fuck could? It'd be the worst check-in in the world. Just be like
20-second check-in.
Yeah, good. Speak to you next week. Well done. But like, that works. 100%.
Yeah.
If you're on a timer, like I'll set a timer, I'll be looking at the clock, going, shit, I'm fucking 5 minutes in, get a move on.
Yeah.
Get on to the next one. It's like, oh shit, we've only got 15 minutes left, like nail 2 out in 15 minutes. It works because you're just putting like...
It turns it into a game. It's urgency.
Yeah, it gives that urgency. Like you're not going to pick your phone up. Like if I don't allocate a time, like last night, I should have done it last night and I didn't. It was like someone cancelled and I had like an extra hour. I was like, oh, do you know what? I'll put that email together now and I'll tweak the landing page and I can bang the landing page out quite quickly now because it literally was just an email name, sign up form to join this 5-day thing. There was no details, no copy needed to go on it. 45 minutes staring at it, like arsing around with it. And I realised like an hour had gone by and it was like 10 o'clock at night and I was like, how am I doing this?
What's going on?
Because I didn't time block. If I'd have said to myself, get this done before 20 past.
Yeah. You'd have got it done.
I'd have just gone in. Because I was looking at it and going, what's that Dave said? Yeah, go on, sound. What's that? Yeah, sound. And I'm going back to it. Whereas when there's like, I've got 30 minutes to put this video together. Okay.
Get it done.
30 minutes, phone goes away, phone's in the drawer locked, phone's on airplane mode. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm going to be completely honest, right? I'm dying for the toilet, so I can't think. So I'm going to ask you a question and then I'm going to go to the toilet and then I'm going to come back.
Yeah, okay. You take your tiny little bladder to the toilet.
I will. What do you do if you block off an hour and you don't get your stuff done, but it needs to be done that day?
So
I'll be back.
It depends, doesn't it? It depends how much of a priority it is. Like, that's the hour for me. If I block out an hour to get something done, chances are I'm probably going to get it done anyway because I'll give myself a realistic time. I'm not going to say that I've got 2 hours work and I'm going to do it in 20 minutes. Like, if I know that it roughly takes about 2 hours, then I'll block 2 hours and do it. But if it runs over, well, then I'll just work later that night. It goes on at the end. And if it has to get done, it has to get done because that's part of running this business, part of wanting it to be a huge success. Same with when I speak to clients, it's like, well, this is your goal. You want this goal really, really badly. You're going to go and do the extra steps. So what if you're tired? Like, you've told me this is what you want to do. Then this is what needs to happen. You need to go out and you need to go and do those extra steps. You need to eat that low calorie meal when you really want to get a takeaway. If it needs to get done, it needs to get done. If you sorted your tiny little bladder out, yeah.
Yes.
It's a really good answer to that as well, and you missed all of it.
What did you say?
Basically, the gist of it, though, part of it was like, if it'll get done in the time because I'll give myself enough time to do it. But if it doesn't, well, it gets done in the night. I work an hour later.
Yeah.
Same with like clients. Well, you've got 12,000 steps. Get out and do them then.
Yeah.
That's what you told me you want.
Yeah.
So the time blocking is the time for me. Like, that's your hour. Get it done.
Yeah.
No questions. Big one for me, tying into that, is turning all my notifications off on my phone.
I was about to say, like, I think something that we should speak about is, you know, the way Mark, I don't know if he still goes on about this, but he used to speak about Power Week.
Yeah.
Kind of create a powerful day.
Yeah.
You need to take yourself away from low power actions. You need to control your environment. So like a powerful day is a day where everything goes right. You get everything that you needed to do done. You had a good day. Everything was productive. It was just a great, powerful day.
Yeah.
Every day would be like that if there were no distractions, if there were no low power actions. So low power actions are things like scrolling on Instagram for 20 minutes when you should be doing work.
Yeah.
That's just taking you away from your actual work. Your level of focus has just dropped. Johan Hari, you onto him?
No, I think I know what you're going to say though.
Yeah, I think I may have mentioned it to you. But basically, there's a guy called Johan Hari who was on Diary of a CEO.
Maybe this is where I've seen it. Yeah.
And he was talking about basically there's a study where people are given lots of, they're just working. And in fact, there's 2 studies which I'll speak about. But basically, when you are distracted by something on your phone, it seems like, oh, there's a notification. I'll just look at that. It takes you 2 seconds. You go, funny that. And then you put it down. It takes 5 seconds. But actually, it takes on average 23 minutes for you to get back to the same level of focus that you were at previously if you put your attention somewhere else.
Yeah.
So if you're deep in check-ins and you're flying, because you know what it feels like when you put your phone away, you're in a flow state. Like it annoys me sometimes if I get into that flow state and then I've got to go and do something else. Like I've got to go and train, or I've got to go. So like that flow state is amazing. You just I
love it.
It's
I
class.
love it. Like,
but like if your phone's there, you just get taken out of that, and it takes you an hour to get back into it, or half an hour, or 23 minutes on average. Apparently
it actually makes you dumber as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
like, is this the next one you're going to talk about? Yeah.
So basically, the other study was they split an office into two halves. One half was just given their normal work, and no one was allowed to speak to them. No emails. No one was allowed to come over to them and speak to them. They just did their work. And the other group were bombarded with what would be classed as heavy distractions in terms of emails, people coming up to them and whatnot. The people who were bombarded, their IQ on average was 7 IQ points less than the group that was, I mean, obviously differences in starting IQ was normalized for, but they saw an IQ drop of 7 points, which, to put into perspective, apparently is the same as getting stoned.
Yes.
If you get stoned,
it was worse than getting stoned.
If you get stoned, it would drop by 5 points. So you'd be better off.
You'd be better off sitting there stoned,
getting stoned and working with no distractions, and you would be working sober with heavy distractions.
Mad,
which is crazy. So, biggest thing productivity wise, get your fucking phone away.
Yeah.
Like, what I actually do is, because I'm working on the computer, sometimes I need my phone. I actually need it to do the piece of work that I'm doing. So I'll put the computer there and I'll just put the phone behind the laptop so I can't see it.
Yeah.
It goes on airplane mode, so it doesn't buzz, it doesn't vibrate, it doesn't distract me in any way. But if I need it, it's just there, airplane mode, go and do the piece of work and put it straight back behind. And that has been so powerful for me.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's just game changer for me. I put it pretty much the same. I've got a desk drawer next to me that locks. I just stick it in there if I need it, because you might need it to, like, sometimes I'm like I need to go and look at my Instagram profile and see what I posted last, see what things coming up next and stuff like that. Or like, you're doing DMs, so you've got to be on your phone. But just not having, like, if I'm on Instagram speaking to people and that's what the task is for that hour, not having other things pop down off the top.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Your job you might be a social media manager and you have to send people, like, you have to run people's social media. But if you've got, like, Facebook, this just happened. This just happened. Someone bid on your thing on eBay. Like, that's all pulling you away from the thing that you're doing, innit? Turning that off. Just so nice. So good. It was weird at first.
Wait, how did you turn that off? Because do not disturb when you're on your phone at work still, doesn't it? It still comes up.
You just go into notification settings and it just says turn off all notifications. And I just went, boop.
I'm going to do that right now.
Just no badge icons, no nothing. Doesn't tell me that I've got DMs.
I didn't even know that you could do that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that right now.
So, like, if I want to look, if I've got WhatsApps, I do it when it's time to check if I've got WhatsApps. If I want to check if I've got DMs, it's when I want to go and check DMs.
How do you turn it off?
Go into settings.
Show previews, never.
So if you just go into settings, into the notification center,
everyone can do this live if you...
Yeah. And there should be one where you just turn all of those off, basically. Scheduled summary, show previews, screen sharing is off. And then I think you probably have to go through...
What's this in? You click notification. So you go in settings, click notifications.
Yeah. And then where it says show previews.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And then pretty much anything then that you get, like, badge icon things pop up on. So like, when you've got a DM and it says one next to the app, WhatsApp, just turn all them off. Go in the app, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, like Snapchat, whatever you use. Anything that's going to distract you like that, even WhatsApp, just turn the badge.
So you've got to go into each individual thing and click allow notifications and turn it off.
Yeah.
I'll be arsed with that. That's a lot. Got like 400 apps, but I will do that.
Yeah.
So important.
You haven't got to go through all of them, do you know what I mean? But, like...
Yeah, like, I don't really get notifications from Airbnb and shit like that.
It's the big ones, innit? So for me, it's WhatsApp and social media.
Yeah.
So as soon as I've ticked off WhatsApp, social media and my emails.
Yeah.
And that was it. Because even if I open it now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes where I know I'm going to have notifications.
Yeah.
Turn them off.
Sick.
Don't need to see them.
Sick.
Don't need it buzzing. Don't need me watch buzzing. That used to do me head in. The watch buzzing for like stuff, and I'd look at it. It's like, what are you doing looking at that?
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
Notification. It's not important.
Exactly.
So
yeah. Trying to limit your distractions by controlling your environment, controlling what goes on in your day to remove these low-powered actions is huge.
yeah, I think that leads nicely onto the next thing I was going to talk about. Is like when we were talking about like structuring your day,
Yeah.
is understanding when to put that like power out in, when you're going to be.
Do you know what I've just thought before we move on from distractions about phones and stuff? People
Yeah.
and other stuff.
Telling people around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're working at home and you're living with people, tell them don't come and interrupt me while I'm doing
Yeah.
check-ins. Don't, like, if I'm doing a check-in, my mum always used to, when I used to live at home, would always just walk in and just do something, or
Yeah.
like come into to the airing cupboard and grab a towel or
Yeah.
something, and I'm just like, Mum, like I'm in the middle of a check-in, so I'm recording, and she comes in, I'm like, okay, my mum's in, and that just registered subconsciously, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, and I have to stop and re-record it. That's just killed me focus. It's just killed the whole previous 4 minutes
Yeah.
of this recording, so now I've got to go and waste another 10 minutes. So it's just like stuff like that. It's not just phones, it's not just the TV, it's not just stuff like that, but like actually people, or if you've got a dog, don't have the dog in your office while you're trying to work.
Yeah.
Put him in the crate, put him in the bed, do whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Get every single thing that could possibly draw you away from whatever your task is. Get it the fuck away. Anyway.
Yeah, no, massively agree. It's not just it's anything that you know is going to distract you. The door, parcels, fucks me up. The worst. Like, does me head in because you can't control that one. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need this food to be delivered because that saves me time. But also, they're like, we might deliver it by 1. It's like, fuck it. Like, one sets the dog off. Any knock on the door, and he's ready for a fight.
Yeah.
He's like, let's fucking have it. Absolute shitbag, and he'd lick their face if they come in the house. But as soon as the door knocks, he's like, what, lad, let's fucking have it. Runs downstairs, barks like mad, and I have to get up. You got to go down. You just broke that deep focus. Like shouting out the window, fucking leave it there, fuck off. Yeah, knowing when. So like, this I got from a human podcast talking about like brain states and when you're most alert and for certain types of tasks, and it works really well for me. That like that early morning, pre-afternoon, like I can't remember the exact times. It's like 5 hours after your temperature minimum.
Mm-hmm. Which is 2 hours before you wake. So 3 hours after you wake up.
So about 3 hours after you wake up. For about 2 hours there is when you'll be the most alert all day. For DPO work, which is decision, problem, outcome, which is very like clinical, like doing check-ins.
Yeah.
Like you already know what you're doing. You're not necessarily trying to learn anything new. It's this is the thing that needs to go here. This is the thing, like I know what I'm doing. I just need to do it.
Yeah.
Kind of tasks. So like replying to emails or whatever it is, whatever like your big focus task is, you're going to be all over it there.
Yeah.
And then later on in the evening, when you're a little bit tired, is when you're most creative.
Yeah.
So if you've got to write like marketing emails, or you've got to write like make a creative post or do anything like that, like your evening time is going to be the best bet. So I do all my content last time in the day.
Yeah.
Write all my emails then, and that it just flows. If I get up in the morning and try and write an email that's like interesting to read, it's like hitting a brick wall. I'm like, can't think of anything funny, can't think of anything interesting. It's just like, I just want to write like a fucking robot.
Do you know what I've noticed that as well? Like many times I've tried to sit down in the morning and write an email and it's just not landing. And I'm just like, you end up wasting time because you're like,
You're just trying to force it.
I've blocked out half an hour and I'm trying to write this email. It's just not. I'm 25 minutes in. I've got like 2 paragraphs because I've deleted everything that I've wrote
Yeah,
because it was shit. So now I'm just gonna give up. So I just wasted the half an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so frustrating, and it just flows so much nicer. You just, when you're a little bit sleepy, you're just a little bit more creative. Your brain's a little bit more.
yeah,
It's less alert, and when it's less alert, it's more able to like unlock that sort of creative side of it.
yeah.
Because it's not so like laser focused on like literally like problem solving.
So
Whereas earlier on in the day, that like 5 hours after temperature, that 3 hours after you wake up, it's like essentially if you were going back to like living in a cave, that's fucking fine food. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, did something just move in a bush? Like, I'm gonna go and get it. I'm gonna go. Like,
Yeah.
that's why your brain's like that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's laser focused. So like using that time then to just nail that stuff, and then in the evening time when it wants to chill out and like tell stories around the fire in its cave,
Yeah.
because it's all sleepy in there, use that time to be creative.
Yeah.
And
Sick.
I always reference back to being a caveman, because I still am one.
I'd like to see your 23andMe data, because they tell you how much Neanderthal DNA you have.
Yeah.
I think I've got less than like 95% of the population.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I was a bit sad about, really. I wanted to have loads of Neanderthal DNA because you feel like a fucking. You'd
It
feel
just
like
comes back. Somehow you are genetically 100% a caveman. You are the last surviving caveman.
You're the last surviving Neanderthal.
We're amazed you're not dragging your knuckles on the floor right now.
What else have we got, lad?
So that was what I had for. That was a big one for me, knowing when shit's gonna work. Like, even down to when you're training, and like, do you know what I mean? Just knowing knowing when you're gonna be hungry, knowing when you're gonna be tired. Like, I know I'm gonna work later in the night because I'm not productive in the day. So that's why I put that 2 hours in the morning to do what I want.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking useless. Like, I'm not. I don't turn on. My brain takes ages to get into that swing.
I remember when we used to. Remember for the time period we were training at 8 a.m.
Oh yeah.
So we were getting up dead early, smashing a meal,
Yeah.
and then coming into training. We were both still half asleep in the gym.
That spanners me as well. Some people, I know it will get better. So like, if you're someone who doesn't enjoy training in the morning, you get better at dealing with it. Like, your body adjusts and you do become good at training in the morning. For me, it takes a long time for that to happen, and it just doesn't work. It does not work. Wrecks me for the rest of the day then as well. So then the rest of my day is spanner because I'm just knackered.
I remember I used to have to do it all the time. Maybe it was while I was at uni. Sorry, I can't remember if it was the same time. But I remember when I was at uni, I always would train at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Get in, train, go straight, get a shower, go straight to uni, and I'd just be fucked in lectures. I'd be like falling asleep in lectures.
Yeah.
At like 10 o'clock.
Mad.
In the morning, just because I just fucked myself in the gym. It's just like, wow, this is not the correct time for me to train.
No, that's it. Like, I look at, like, I've seen that Jocko Willner,
Yeah.
the ex-SEAL, trains at like 4 o'clock in the morning and then goes about his day. Nah, mate.
No, I think he's just a weirdo like David Goggins, isn't he? He just likes the pain. He likes to suffer.
He's
Probably. I don't really follow him that
addicted
closely,
to the suffering.
Yeah.
Should we talk about some struggles? We haven't really touched on them, have we?
Have we got anything else we want to speak about in terms of productivity?
I ticked off all the big ones for me there, unless you've got
I think just something that's just sprung into my mind then. Environment in which you work. So if you're trying to work at home and you are sat on the couch on your laptop, like, what do you expect? This is the environment where your brain is used to sitting down, relaxing, eating your dinner or whatever, watching TV, watching Netflix, like just doing nothing, basically, just completely relaxing. So if you're then going to try and start working on your laptop in that same environment where your brain's normal cues, or when you're in that situation, those cues signify to your brain this is where we switch off and relax.
Yeah.
So you're going to sit and be around those cues and then try and work. Your brain's not in the state to be able to go and perform. It's like when everyone was, I've said this before, but like lockdown, everyone was training at home and the sessions were shit.
Yeah.
It's like they were probably going to be a little bit shit anyway because you're using bands, but like they were even shitter because you're training in your living room or your bedroom. it's like it's not the same
It's
as
not,
going to the
yeah.
gym. Like you step into the gym, it's like this is where we train. You have your routine, you drive to the gym, you have your pre-workout, you step into the gym, it's fucking go time, and then those cues get your body and your brain ready. Your adrenaline's already rising,
Yeah.
your cortisol's already rising, your heart rate's already going up. You get you ready to perform. Whereas if I've just woke up and you just sort of chilling and you just had a scran and you just sat there watching TV, and the next minute you just stand up and start pulling some bands.
Yeah,
Like it's gonna be shit, isn't it? So that is the same thing in terms of
Doesn't need to be
work.
Doesn't need to be a massive change either, though, does it?
No.
Like for that example, like people working from home, like when I used to work on the kitchen table, that was
Yeah.
my office.
Yeah,
Well, the left chair was the office, the right chair was for my food.
yeah,
And it was as simple as that. Like I didn't sit in the left chair and eat,
yeah,
and I didn't sit in the right chair and work.
Yeah.
The left chair work, right chair food.
Yeah.
And it was that, and that was it.
yeah.
But
And
it was
can
just
literally be
enough
that
of a
simple.
definition to be
Yeah.
like that's how
Yeah.
it has to be. And
It
you
is.
don't and you don't merge the lines.
Because I remember, no, it's not as of an extreme example, but when I used to live in a flat with Angel, I had to work in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So like, if I ever tried to work on the bed, nothing's getting done at all,
No.
at all. 'Cause that's when my brain goes
Yeah.
to sleep. But if I'd sit at the chest of drawers, which is literally just next, or the like hairdressing table, which is literally just right next to
Yeah.
the bed, I'm sat on a chair. I've got a bit of a desk and there's a mirror there, so it doesn't feel like I'm in the same environment. The cues are different. I was very productive there.
Yeah.
But if I try and work on the couch in the living room, nothing. If I'd even try and work where we ate, and just like a bit of a dining room
Yeah.
table, do you remember it?
Yeah.
In the living
yeah,
room, I try and work there, nothing.
Nothing.
But the only place that I could actually be productive was
Was that.
that environment in the bedroom, in the dressing
Even like
table.
the position you sit in and stuff.
Mm.
Like the screen. Having the screen down here
Yeah,
and being down and shrugged, you're gonna be less
yeah,
engaged. Like I have all my screens slightly above
yeah, yeah,
me, so I'm up and I have to sit up and look at
yeah,
them.
yeah,
But I'm comfy in the chair that I'm in as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're not comfy, that's gonna distract you.
yeah.
So leaving design your environment down to the little things like that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even think about that. So,
Struggles. What are your struggles?
the biggest one, I've said this to you all the time. You'll remember me saying this about ages ago. The biggest one for me is comparing myself to people who are doing well better than me.
Yeah.
Like that's a big flaw of mine.
Mm.
It's not necessarily a flaw. It's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to catch myself. Which is good. Me new journaling questions. So I was telling you about the one where I have to thank someone new every day.
Have you done it?
Which I love it. Yeah, thanked them when I come in before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. You know, it's fucking sick. Because when do you really actually thank anyone genuinely?
Yeah.
You know, me just like, thanks for that.
Nice one, Ed.
Yeah, nice one. So it's nice having to actually like be not a knobhead and be nice and say thank you and mean it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one of the other ones is writing things down that might trigger you that day, and what you're gonna do to compensate for it, or like how you're gonna handle it, how you're gonna manage it. And that's good for me. I like that one. That's good for me. So like one of them is that comparison. If I know like I'm gonna be on a call with people who are like absolutely crushing it, well, how are you gonna manage the fact that you're probably gonna feel a bit shit
Yeah.
at some point if you think too much about it? Like I used to say to you, like when I was working with Steve, comparing myself to Steve, he's been doing it 10 years and I've been doing it 1.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, shut up, Jack. Like, everything you've done the past 12 months, he's done that 9 more times.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, he is going to be ahead of you.
Of course. And I was having this conversation with one of my clients yesterday. Said he's just a couple of things I've noticed in his check-in. I just spoke to him a little bit more in depth, and there's some small warning signs that he's just feeling very low. So I just sort of we had a chat over the phone, and he was just feeling a bit shit, and we just had a conversation, and he was comparing himself to everyone around him and being like, why can't I gain weight at the same rate as everyone else? And he was just feeling shit because I mean, I don't know. I don't doubt he'll listen to this, but if he is, he will know. I think that he compared himself to a transformation that I posted the other day. Did you see it? One of my clients got absolutely shredded, and following that, gained 17 kilos in 8 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, I did. You know what? I did see that. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And is looking at that going, well, my weight's not going up, and I've been doing it for 4 to 6 weeks, and what's wrong with me? Oh, I'm shit. And then you start feeling self-conscious, like, oh, well, I'm never going to be able to do it, and you start doubting yourself, and it's like, it's so normal to compare yourself with other people. It's, as you say, it's part of human nature, but what you need to understand, and Jordan Peterson said this years ago, and it's always stuck with me, but like, you comparing yourself to any other human on the planet is an unfair comparison.
Yeah.
The only fair comparison that you can possibly make is you versus you yesterday.
Yeah. I love that.
Because it's like you comparing yourself to any other coaches who are making 15 grand a month.
Yeah.
Well, they're single. They're living in Dubai.
Yeah.
They've got all the time in the world to work. Their whole day is about work.
Yeah.
The whole day is geared around making money, building business. They're in that environment. That's their everything.
Yeah.
They don't have a bird. They don't have a dog. They don't do a podcast. They don't do, like, it's a completely different life. So their ability to drive revenue through the business is going to be a lot greater, and that's fine. That's normal. But if you start looking at that and going, oh, well, what the fuck? What's wrong with me? I'm not able to do it. Like, well, it's completely different. It's completely, you cannot compare it. It's like, it's like, so going back to the client, is like, he's looked at that person, seen them gain 17 kilos in 8 weeks, and thought, oh my God, that's unbelievable. Why can't I do that? Well, actually, probably 3 of that's muscle. Probably. Like, going from diced to 8 weeks later, 17 kilos. No one's building 17 kilos of muscle in 8 weeks. Even if you're on steroids and you've never touched a weight in your life, and you go in with the perfect program, everything's perfect. You have the best coach in the world and unbelievable amounts of gear. You're not gaining 17 kilos of muscle in 8 weeks. It just won't happen. It's impossible. And what that 17 kilos largely is water, fat, salt, glycogen, and then a bit of muscle as well. But he looks great at the end of it because he's blown up, obviously, because he's been diced and shredded and skinny and like Skeletor. He's been lean as fuck. But now he started eating again. He's gone boom, boom, boom every single week. We just pushed food, and he looks great. Yeah. So it looks amazing. And now he's looking at himself going, well, I can't gain any weight, and it's like, you've got digestive issues, so we can't push food. You've completely changed your training style because you've been training with loads of volume for months, and we're trying to increase your intensity, or for your whole life. You've been trying to increase your intensity, and that's a process. Yeah. We've only been working together for 4 weeks, so I don't know how your body works yet. So it's just like all of these things, you're comparing your situation, which is completely different to someone else's situation. This guy's been training for 5 years, longer than you have anyway. So it's like, there's so much that goes into behind the scenes that no one can see. That's why that person might be further ahead of you. Yeah. And you're comparing yourself to that person, but you don't know what is actually going on behind the scenes. You're just comparing the end result, that's all you see, to your life, and you're like, well, what the fuck? But it's an unfair comparison. Yeah, that's good, that. That's similar to what I was going to say about that was in that Mark Manson. Yeah. Mark Manson, innit? The desire for more positive experiences is itself a negative experience. And paradoxically, the acceptance of one's negative experience is itself a positive experience. Yeah. You're like, that's a head fuck. Read it again. And I was like, that's fucking sick. Yeah. Like, that chasing, oh, well, he's gaining more weight than me. Yeah. He looks better than me. You wanting that is actually negative for you. Yeah. It's actually making you worse. Yeah. Accepting that you don't gain weight that quick is actually going to benefit you more. Yeah. And true, not just being like, okay, well, that's fine, but like truly accepting that. Yeah. Like really being deeply okay with that. And just, I think that's something that we could spend a whole episode on, because that's like really quite like, people won't just, you have to, it's a process to be able to achieve an acceptance of who you are and whatever situation you find yourself in. I don't think there'll be certain people listening and they just won't land what you've just said. But that is huge. Just radical acceptance of whatever
just
the fuck.
Of like you're saying, like, you can only compare you to you yesterday. Yeah. Wow, that was a lot of yous in a sentence, wasn't it?
You can only compare you to you yesterday.
Yeah. But it's true. I've kettled myself because I said so many yous. Threw me right off. Right out of that deep state of thinking there. But
Yeah, that's a quality book. If anyone is into reading, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson is class.
I like, which kind of ties into like a similar theme of that, is like Dr. DeMartini's view of like every experience is neither negative or positive.
Yeah.
And you have to make it that way if you want to excel in life.
Do you know?
So if it didn't land with you then, with me saying the negative experience is actually going to positively impact you by not giving a fuck, something I get my clients to do all the time when we're working on their mindset is go and find 50 positives.
Yeah.
Something that you view as negative in your life, like the fact that you can't lose weight, the fact that you don't like the way your arms look, or the fact that you can't fit into clothes you did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, whatever that negative thing is that you view, go and find 50 reasons why that's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Or flip it on its head. If you find a positive, find 50 negatives of it.
Yeah.
Because it's cool. I like it's good. It's fun to do. Like a lot of them.
It makes you realise every situation is just neutral.
Yeah. You don't fit into the clothes you did 10 years ago, but you've got a kid. And part of the reason why you don't fit in them is the kid. And you love your kids, so that's a huge positive from the thing that you're viewing as a negative.
Yeah.
You hate your stretch marks, well, they're part of the fact that you've got a kid. Like,
also part of the fact that you want to now get in shape and improve your health. So that's a positive as well.
And then all the positives start rolling in. You're like, oh, okay, fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah. It's just every situation is neutral. This is, I'm reading the Daily Stoic, aren't I? And this is a huge thing in Stoicism, is just like,
what month are you on now?
I'm still in February. I've slowed down. I think I'm on like the 27th of February, so I'm actually just reading one day at a time now, but I'm just like 2 weeks.
For anyone who didn't listen to last week's, in the most you fashion ever, you were reading what? The Daily Stoic like 3 days in a go, like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, you're supposed to read one. There's a page for every day of the year, and I was just reading like 4 or 5 at once. I just couldn't be asked waiting.
Don't tell me what to do. I've got time to read this all year.
I want the information now. But against Stoicism, they're largely I can't find the word because my brain's getting tired. I think the L-tyrosine's word enough, but they're big on. There
you go.
They're large.
Large about.
They are large about.
Yeah.
Not being slaves to your impulses.
Yeah.
So if your impulse as a human naturally is to make more money, go and hunt, go and acquire resources and just be a normal human and be a slave to your human desires, they're like, nah, like, fuck that. Even, and in one of the things that I think it was about 2 days ago, so maybe like the 25th of February, if anyone else is reading it, it's like, those things are obvious to see when people are obsessed with money or obsessed with fame. It's a bit like, wow, what the fuck? But also, it's the same shit when you're really obsessed with acquiring happiness.
Yeah.
Or really obsessed with acquiring peace, or really obsessed with acquiring these more sort of virtuous goals, or acquiring the ability to help thousands of people by building a massive business. If you're obsessed with that, you're always in a state of wanting more. You're always in a state of never actually being content. If your whole life is defined by achieving this thing, whether it's money or fame, and it's something stupid and obvious to see in that sense, or whether it's peace or something else, that you're constantly striving for something, and regardless of whatever the end goal is, if you're defined by that and you're obsessed with achieving that thing, it still creates the same negative impact where you're never fully content. And the ability to just feel contentness with whatever situation you're presented with in life, and obviously acting to achieve more, but not because you need it, just because you want it.
Interesting that you say about that impulse control. Did you read that thing about Hume was talking about this week? No. About impulse control? We love like cold water exposure and stuff.
Yeah.
By doing that and not reacting, by controlling that impulse, by like you get in a cold shower and go, and you make all stupid noises, or you breathe really heavily, the more you resist that in cold showers, that actually carries over into your impulse control outside in the rest of life.
Sick.
So if you're a very impulsive person, like you get angry really quickly, someone cuts you off and you're like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
It would help that get better
Sick.
by simply just getting a cold shower in the morning and not making any noise.
Do you remember when I said one of the things that I do to try and challenge myself to make it worse when I was getting cold showers in Angels because the water wasn't that cold was try to not do the noise. I literally just get in and just try and be quiet.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
It's cool, yeah. Because I tried it the other day. Because normally I just let myself go in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Just I get it all in amongst it. But I was like, I read that and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try that. And it's good. It's a nice challenge, isn't it? Just like, okay, we're in. Okay, good. Yeah.
Do you know what I used to do? I used to try and get myself hyped up for it when I first started doing it. I'd be like, I'd put music on and everything. I'd be like, come on, let's go. I'd jump in and it wouldn't feel as bad because your adrenaline's up, cortisol, and it's fine.
Yeah.
So I've stopped doing that. I've stopped thinking about it. I've stopped trying to breathe in it. I literally I'll make the decision when I'm like nowhere near the ice bath and I'll just walk in and just get in it, and I won't. It's not that I'll try and resist and go. I'll just control my breathing before then.
You've got that ice bath outside now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Are you still using that? Is it good?
Not every day since we got the dog.
Yeah.
Because it's just.
I'm trying to do like 2 or 3 a week because every day it doesn't work. I don't get a shower every morning.
Yeah.
So, like the days that I don't, it's like I've got to go and get a shower now and get dry. Like it's just not.
It's a big hassle.
Yeah.
But then just getting in and not trying to resist the breath, but just controlling the breath and just go, rather than just actually allowing it to just sort of play out, rather than being a slave to your impulse to take a big massive breath.
That was interested. They're quite cool at that crossover.
That's really cool.
That's probably why you've got quite good impulse control in the rest of your life.
Potentially.
So,
is there anything else you've got down on your notes, or are we done?
I think we're done. I think we wrapped it up nicely there, you know.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So we've spoken about how to build a routine. Once you've got your routine, making sure that you're building in some time to actually switch off, settle down, and actually have some downtime so that you're not burning yourself out over months on end of just relentless work.
Yeah.
Not giving into the impulse to be the most productive human in the world, and understanding that you do need a little bit of time to switch off is important. Then we spoke about productivity, things you can do to improve your productivity, managing distractions from your phone, from people, from devices, controlling your environment where you actually work, and time blocking. Not letting a task that can be done in 1 hour roll into 10 or roll into 2 days because you didn't get it done quick enough. And then what else did we speak about? Problems.
Did we didn't really touch on problems, did we? We should follow up with another episode. We talked about comparison, didn't we? Because I love that saying, comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
It's a nice saying, isn't it? That's what I wrote down in my notes. So we spoke about that. That's a big one for me, but I think we could probably expand on that on a whole episode, and I think we should. That'd be a good episode, that.
Yeah, 100%. Boss, thank you all for listening. Have you got anything to add, Jack, about Fat Loss Foundation?
I've got 2 things to add. One, if you're listening, I'm a savage now. Go and fucking leave a review. What are you listening to it for? We do this for free for you. Go and leave us a review. Nice one. And then secondly, I'm running a 5-day free little mini course called, you listen to, I love the name of this, come up with myself, the 5-day mini mind and body reset.
Nice.
It's 5 days to reset your mind and body. Yoga, meditation, daily workouts. I'm going to go live every day and just give like little tips and tricks to like have a more healthy, positive mind and body.
Sorry, I want to interrupt you because it's really annoying me. What does resetting your body mean?
Just like giving yourself a kickstart is essentially the theory of it. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're feeling a bit like crap at the minute or you're a bit low, it's like, okay, let's sort my shit out.
Okay.
Yeah, not like resetting your body with like alkaline water.
Let's kickstart your metabolism.
Yeah, kickstart your metabolism. Drinking alkaline water and charging your crystals. No, it's none of that. It's like, it's a kickstart for people that just need to kick up the bum, essentially. If you've been slacking or you feel a bit crap or like you haven't been able to get yourself going, this is what it's about. It's 5 days to just be like, okay, let me get my shit together.
Nice.
Meditation, yoga, daily lives with me. And then day 4, we're doing like an early morning walk. So like I'm going to be up like crack of dawn. I put in the email up before the birds are.
Nice.
And I'm going to be doing like a group walk for anyone that's local wants to come, and we'll all just get up and do it.
Sick.
And then day 5 got a little bit of a surprise, which I haven't told anyone about. So you'll have to find out in the group what day 5 is all about, the final day.
Can you tell me afterwards?
I'll tell you after it, yeah. You can know. But
Not
there's a
any of these
link
peasants.
in my Instagram by the time you listen to this podcast. If you wanna join it, it's free. Get involved. I'll see it in there.
Boss, I was thinking about organising. Well, I mean, we've said this for ages. Organising a walk up a mountain, up Snowdon. It's not. What's further, Snowdon or Ben Nevis?
Further up or further to?
It's at 2. I can't be asked driving.
Mate, Ben Nevis is 6.5 hours away in Scotland.
So
Snowdon's
where's
about an hour and a half away.
Okay, well, yeah. So not Ben Nevis then. Let's go.
Not Ben Nevis.
Let's go.
We
to-
could do Snowdon, and we could do the cold water dip in Snowdon,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I know that route now. I hadn't done that route before, but I found a boss place where we can do it.
Yeah.
So we could go up, which is quite a difficult climb, and then a fairly gentle climb
Yeah,
down, cold water dip on the way back, get in the car, go home.
Nice. That'd be sick. Yeah, I'm gonna organise that with the More Than Muscle community.
Sick. Yeah.
Boss. So thank you all for listening.
Yeah. We'll see you on the next one.
Have an amazing afternoon or morning if it's the morning when you listen to it. Just have a great day.
Yeah. Have
Speak
a
to you-
boss life.
Speak to you soon. Leave a review. You fucking muppet.